Hi everyone, and welcome to the world of slot cars. Today I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how I made my yellow flag system. This system is an upgrade to the race coordinator software, but it can also be used as a standalone system. The purpose of the system is to count the use of yellow flags during a race on the slot car track. It can display available flags and the used flags on an LCD display. And it has a reset button, so you can reset it and start all over. It can increase and decrease. You have buttons for this, so you can increase and decrease the number of yellow flags allowed. There's a disqualification feature which disqualifies a driver by cutting his controller when he reaches the maximum number of used flags. To build this, you need an Arduino board, an Arduino relay with the two relays mounted on the board. You need 6 push buttons, and these are the push to brake type and momentary buttons, and you need 2 push buttons that are the push to make. The difference between these buttons are that the push to brake buttons are constantly on, and when you hit them they will turn off for a short time, and the 2 push to make buttons are constantly off and will turn on for a brief moment when you push them. You can change the type of buttons you use in the software. I'll get back to that when I make a run through of the program. You also need 2 LCD displays with an LCM 1602 and some wires. All of these parts can be found on eBay, very cheap. I bought all of these components for around 100 Danish kroners, which isn't very much. So that's cheap, but you'll have to wait for it if you buy it on eBay. I've made some downloads accessible on the website. The sketch for the Arduino board, you are free to download this and use it if you like. Just if you do, I'd be very happy if you give me credit for the use. So there's also a 3D SketchUp model for the LCD mount. I'll just display it here. This is a mounting piece. You can insert one of the standard LCD displays in here. The 4 holes up here will fit, so you can add some bolts and nuts on the piece so it is firmly and tightly positioned, and then you can mount this piece on a control panel or whatever you like. It's angled, so it's easy to view when you're standing up and looking down on the track, so you always can see how many flags you have left. Beside this, there is a link to the liquid crystal library for Arduino. You'll need this when encoding it and uploading it to the Arduino board. It's an external library. You can download it from this link. And there's the schematics for wiring right here. And I'll just start by going through this piece. As you can see, this is the entire wiring, and it's a standard Arduino board. That's all that's required for 2 drivers. I've added 2 LCD displays over here, and you can see how all the wires are attached from the ground to the Arduino board, and then again from the current to the Arduino board again, and then the signal wire. And both signal wires from both LCDs need to be attached to this one. There is a trick because these LCD displays are recognized by an internal code, and the Arduino board will contact each of these displays using that specific code. And to get that code, you'll need to install a small scanner program on the Arduino that will constantly send messages to your PC or whatever computer you're using. So please contact me if you need help with that. There are 8 push buttons in this system. I've added over here which pins each button are attached to. You see increase max flags, reset driver 1, and decrease max flags for driver 1 on pin 2, 3 and 4. And pin 5, 6 and 7 are the same just for driver 2, and pin 8 and 9 are the yellow flag buttons. These will be attached to the same buttons that you usually use for a yellow flag incident. And if you use race coordinator, you'll have to set the software up so it can recognize yellow flags for lane 1 and lane 2, and then just add a wire from the pin 8 and pin 9 on this board to the other Arduino board that controls these yellow flag incidents. So you also have a relay over here with 2 relays on it, and it will be attached to the Arduino board as it's viewed right here, and uses pin 10 and 11 for the 2 lanes. The slot car controller will be inserted here in these 2 pins for lane 1, and for lane 2 it will be inserted between these 2 pins. When the Arduino recognizes that a yellow flag button has been initiated, it will stop the race. The race coordinator Arduino will do that, and this one will count it. And when the maximum number of yellow flags allowed is reached, the computer program will turn off the relay for the specific lane and make sure that the driver can't drive anymore. So that's the schematics. The Arduino sketch, just give a quick sum of this, starts by including a couple of libraries. This is the one you need to download from the link I've added. These are initiation of the liquid crystal displays, and as you can see, this part is the actual code for the display. I named them LCD1 and LCD2 there, but this is the part that makes the Arduino recognize it. And to find these numbers, you need to run a scanner application. You can find a lot about that on the internet, or please contact me if you have any problems. So this just initiates the variables I'm going to use, prepare the relays, and then we get to the setup. The first LCD display here is cleared. It's set for the starting line, writes the text. You have this many yellow flags, and the count of the yellow flags, how many you've used, and how many you got. So this will basically write on the LCD display 1 how many yellow flags you have and how many you have used. And to begin with, it's also always set for 0 used and 5 available. And this will do exactly the same for the second LCD display. These two will, this one will initiate the relay, and this one will turn on the first relay, so controller action will be active, and relay 2. And then I'll just tell the program to recognize all of the different pins for the buttons to initialize the buttons as inputs. These are standard 2-wire buttons, momentary buttons. So then we get to the void loop part, where the program will keep running through this part of the system and check up on all of these constantly, and it will start by checking if there's any signals on the pin 2, and if there is, it's noted as a high here. If you change the button type to the type that's always off and will turn on when you hit it, you need to change this for low, and you have to do that for all buttons you change. So this one will increase the maximum flags available and then reset the LCD display. The button 3 will reset the maximum number of flags allowed and reset the display. Again, the pin 4 will decrease the maximum number of flags allowed with 1, and then write it all to the display so you can see it. And then button 8 is the actual yellow flag, and it will count the yellow flag up. So the yellow flag will be increased with 1. And the final part here for driver 1, you can see LCD 1 is for driver 1 all the way, and all variables has a 1 after them. It's exactly the same with driver 2, but all of these variables will be set for the driver 1. If the yellow flag counter is larger than the maximum flags allowed, and the disqualification counter is below 1, it will disqualify the driver, turn off the relay, and he won't be able to drive anymore. And then the exact same part is copied, with the difference that all of the variables has a number 2 behind them to signal to the program that this is driver 2 we're talking about. And that's basically the program, and it can be downloaded on the website. So just to get back to the site, I've added some videos of this, my first setup testing, a couple of features I added, and then all of these a gallery too, where you can find some of the pictures of the project. And I've built a control panel which can be seen in the improving the yellow flag system, and I'm going to make a guide about this control panel, as it's actually made to include this yellow flag system. So it could be a nice idea to create a panel, something like mine. But you can implement this system in any kind of control boards or control panels or whatever you like. So that's basically a walkthrough of the entire project. Thanks for watching, and I hope you can use it for something. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll be happy to help. So thanks for watching. Bye.